Man, it was either die in poverty or just do what a lot of other people are afraid to do. Step out there. I grew up in the projects of Atlanta under pretty dire circumstances. My mother died at 18 years of age. When I was 18, she was 36, and she died from HIV complications. She was an alcoholic and she was addicted to crack. And my father, I saw him 2 times in my life. My brother, he went into the system at age 14, went to jail. He's been in and out for the last 20 plus years. I ran the streets and I sold drugs. I carried a gun, a pistol, but I found out that, I realized later on that I became a product of my environment. I was emulating what I saw in my environment. That's basically the bulk of what I saw. So how could I do differently if that's pretty much for the most part what I knew? And at the end of the day, the question was, stay miserable in that state, in that world, because it is a different world, really it is, or to dare to be different and do what has never been done. So I was like, I don't want to be in this world anymore. And that's all it took for me. So I worked hard. And I never quit. I think that courage is being, if I had to give a definition, it's being willing to do what others aren't willing to do. So I made the sacrifices. I went to school, went to college, I became a theater major. I did the all-nighters because my school system was subpar. And so I had to take a remedial class or 2 at the beginning, my freshman year. And I had to do a lot of overnight study sessions. I would take me a nap around 10 o'clock at night, 10 p.m., and get up around 1 and then study through the night because I had to catch up. My vocabulary was very limited, so I had to do a lot of the stuff that under normal circumstances you don't have to worry about. But I was willing to do those things because I wanted success so badly. And I would encourage you guys to do that too. It's like, what's the worst that can happen? I told a friend of mine once, it's like, what's the worst that can happen? You could die. Like you get to do this thing one time. Think about it. I would rather leave this world having tried and failed over and over and over again, as opposed to never having tried at all, because that brings about regret. I just didn't want any regrets in my life. I was like, when this life is over, this particular life right here, there's no more of this life. So I said, I'm going to make this count while I'm here, no matter what. So I embraced the fear. And that's what courage is. It's not the absence of fear. It's overcoming the fear. It's doing despite the fear that you may feel. And that was my thing. I didn't care. Whenever there was some fear, guys, whenever there was fear, I said, I have to do it. So like when I first did stand-up comedy, I was so fearful. I was like, oh my God, this stand-up comedy is petrifying. It's terrifying to think about that. And I had to do it. So whenever I was fearful of something, I said, I must do it. And I think that's the key. Whenever you fear something, attack it. Go after it. Go after it.